good to conceal it in the sleeve like this. I've always been a pretty good boy most of my life, so I enjoyed the thrill of breaking the law. Keep an eye out behind me. Right before September 11th, I kind of checked out Andy Goldsworth, and I was kind of thinking about how I could sort of duplicate that same excitement that I experienced when looking at his work. But like many ideas we all have, I'd thought about it, never really acted upon it. But then September 11th happened, and for some reason I suddenly decided that I had to go and paint bike paths all over the streets. This would supposedly wake everybody up and make us realize that oil was driving this evil empire, and that if we kept continuing at our usual pace, our consumption habits would basically ruin us. That was sort of a starting point for me.
Le 29 novembre à 4h30 du matin, Gibbs est pris en flagrant délit, ses bombes à aérosol à la main.
This is the Rick Peterson Show on CJAD 800.
The city nailed Roadsworth, and a lot of people are getting to know that name, Roadsworth, because of his, well, it's art. He is what you genuinely call a street artist. The city of Montreal does not appreciate his art, though. The problem is, of course, he paints on city property, not his own, and you can't do that kind of thing, no matter how interesting or artistic it is.
It was kind of nice to let go of that secret, to sort of be confronted by what you've done and to have people asking you about it and to ask questions about you. You're revealing something to a certain extent. You're having to sort of come out of your shell. It kind of forced me to just say, well, this is who I am, and take it or leave it.
The first time I heard about Roadsworth was when a journalist called me to ask me my opinion. What does the director of the Musée d'Art Contemporain think about Roadsworth? Is he an artist or not? Which is kind of non-issue. If you say you're an artist, then you're an artist. Whether or not you're a good one, that's when I get involved. But the first time I noticed him was when I started seeing these things on the streets, and I was kind of intrigued by them at first because they were so slick and so well done and so clever. I just presumed that it was a grant that somebody got with the city's permission.
His work seemed to hit a nerve in the city. It seems because it was so well integrated with the city's infrastructure. It looked official.
But he could be facing as much as $100 grand in fines, some jail time. It's 85 charges of public mischief because he does this on public property. What to do?
We knew that he was up against a lot of fines and a lot of charges, and what I was worried about when he emailed me and he said I've been arrested and all these things is the charge against Roadsworth is going to be 30 times more stringent than it would be if he did the same thing in a park, because the government could say he made driving unsafe in this community.
À ma connaissance, c'est la première fois que les gens de la rue, le public, les gens ordinaires, s'adressent aux autorités municipales pour soutenir une œuvre et un artiste. C'est pas rien, ça.
I can't condone it. I'm sorry. I mean, it may be artistic and it might look good, but I don't know. I have my doubts.
What do you do with a guy like Roadsworth?
You leave him alone. You promote him.
Maria, thanks for calling CJAD. You don't like the idea of Roadsworth painting places, do you?
As a matter of fact, I don't, Rick. City property or private property should not be used as an artist's canvas. I don't care what anybody thinks.
I love his stuff. I've seen it in several places, and it's very thought-provoking. And yes, it makes you laugh, and I leave the guy alone.
Right now, I guess the big question in my mind is, to what point am I willing to back up what I've been doing on the streets of Montreal for the past 2-3 years? Do I treat this as a crusade, a defender of freedom of expression, or do I just try and get off as easily as possible? And I don't know. I don't know how much integrity I have. My original intention was to simply introduce an element of surprise into an otherwise very uniform and predictable environment.
I'm starting to wonder whether I have sold out. People keep asking, I'm like, have I sold out? Maybe I have sold out, and I don't even know.
At some point you have to suffer. It's the Protestant in me that's taught me that. One revelation is, I think, that things happen when you take risks. As long as you can stay between the lines, you're safe.